My Gavan and Melonin, and well met indeed. I am Arachir Galadirthan, head of the modding team behind Divide and Conquer. Welcome back to Divide and Conquer as we continue on as the New Realm and Remnants of Angmar. I have chosen to cut out the loading screen of the battle. We are fighting outside the castle of Angsul. Our first real war, or our first real, not war, that's a terrible word. Our first real battle against the dwarves of Ered, who will stand atop this hill here and facing us. We are the aggressors because they were besieging our castle. And we therefore have to attack the boogers. But I am thinking of maybe swinging round from that side, perhaps. No. We'll swing round from this side and it takes the hill out entirely. And then we'll fiddle with our formation as we get closer. We only have one unit of archers in our entire army, and we only really have one unit of any skill, strength, or quality, and that, of course, is Agandawa's Temple Wards. The dwarves, on the other hand, are doing rather well in terms of troops, as you will see as we approach them. Now, in the last episode of the Gundabad campaign, of course, we toggled Fog of War and we discovered that the world is arrayed against us. And we are the last bastion of evil, really, in the whole of Middle-earth. And there's been a few calls for people to suggest one of the following options. A, that I just jack Gundabad in altogether now, play a different campaign somewhere else completely, so that Angmar gets focus in the north, and because the Gundabad campaign is likely over and done with. Second option was to press the entire army into Ered, the mountains of, and abandon Gundabad and set up so that we only have enemies coming from one direction, namely the east. The third option is to scrap our attack of Ered, pull our army back, gift much of Angmar's old regions to the Misty Mountains, who may then have the strength to actually do something, and we then focus on Erebor. These three questions are now, of course, posed to you. For those of you who also watched the Gundabad campaign, I, trying wherever to facilitate the wishes of the many, would therefore open this up as a poll. To answer the poll, there should be a little icon either up here or up here that looks like an eye. It doesn't look like an eye, the biological feature. It looks like the letter I. You click on that, the poll options will pop up. You can answer as you see fit. So option A, abandon Gundabad altogether and go for a faction vote. Option B, abandon our heartlands and take Ered down and basically start again from Ered. And option C, abandon the attack on Ered, bring the army back, sell or gift the regions, it will be gifting the regions of Angmar to the Misty Mountains, and head east only. I welcome your feedback, your thoughts, and answers in the poll will, of course, be taken on board. To be honest, I'm leaning towards one or three, sorry. I'm not too keen on going for Ered because that will completely copy this campaign. But I'm okay with either jacking it in as playing as just someone else. There aren't too many other massively changed factions for version 3, but we could always just play as someone else. Or I'd be happy to be honest, my original plan before I thought, oh no, I will go for a poll, was going to be to jack in the attack on Ered and move over. So option 3 is the one that I most agree with. So anyway, answers in the poll, much appreciated. You guys are going to go left, and you're going to take the pikes and those with you. We need to set up a flanking system. You guys are all going to go to the right, while the trash basically locks down the centre. Although we have archers, and I'm not sure that they do, so get the archers into position to start shooting them. Another thing that happened this week that was brought to my attention, and also I happened to notice myself as I flit through sometimes, but I saw the comment before I saw the video, but a YouTuber by the name of Melkor, who does predominantly videos whereby, or certainly the ones that I have seen, he predominantly does videos whereby he essentially lets the whole world play in a hot seat kind of game where the AI is every faction. And he does then a time-lapse of what happens, and then he explains through victors at the end. Now, he does these for Medieval 2 and Rome 2, and Rome 1, sorry. And he's a fellow British person, such as myself. But anyway, he did a top 5 Total War YouTubers, and I was number 5. So thank you very much to Melkor, and I would be doing him a grave disservice if I did not then return at least some favour by speaking of him, and indeed popping a link in the description down below, which I'm writing down now so I don't forget, to his channel, and indeed to the video. I wonder if I can put a link to the video in the end screen. I'll write that to myself. I don't look too heavily into what YouTube can do for me, because YouTube, on the whole, to be honest, is just really quite naff even today, and it's really, really difficult to... Certain features never work, certain things don't ever do what you want them to. The better creator center, or whatever it's called, I don't know what it's called, but the new location where we creators can all upload our videos and edit them and whatever, is really quite lacking. And they always ask for your feedback. How can we make this better? And it's like, you're not going to take on my feedback. You're not going to take on really anyone's feedback. Not unless a cracking idea comes through that you just never ever thought of in a million years. But anyway, I'm being cynical. Have the other units arrived? Ah, yes, they have indeed. Right. You guys are going to be fighting uphill, but that's all right. Right, let's do it. The front line engages. Keep the enemy tied up. Perfect. Right, flanking forces, really pull around now. The enemy is totally locked up. You guys move in on like those positions. You fellows move over to there. And those going right around the sides, run even further around. Let's really get behind them. The Hillmen, you have one purpose here today. Block our enemy. And do what you can to keep them engaged while we run the real troops around the sides. Now our line, I'm expecting, to be honest, to get absolutely massacred. Like conscripts, you're almost in position. You can flank those labourers on that northern side. Oh, it's very even. Quiet, maggots! Oh, I forgot to send them in. Arguably the most important unit here. And I've left them behind. But then, if any of you have come here to see some stellar, and I mean excellent, almost professional level Total War gameplay, you really have come to the wrong place, and this is where we part ways. However, if you're just generally interested in Lord of the Rings, and you want to know what's happening in Divide and Conquer behind the scenes, then welcome to the channel. We have much that may be of interest to you. The problem we have here is that man for man, we are outmatched by every single unit on this field, except for Agendaur. Archers, you're not doing anything. Come and do something. Who is their leader? Where's their general? Ah, that's this one down the bottom. Ah, perfect. Those pikemen up there, Agendaur, get them in from behind. You fellows, you're perfectly placed now. Turn and hit the militia, which is the captain. I want him dead. In they go. Armour-piercing mauls smashing into the backs of the enemies. And what of the northern side? You fellas aren't doing out. Ah, neither are you. Completely neglected you. Cut down and hit them. Go. Our own pikemen, come in. I'm not worried about those 8 pikes or however many there are there. Agendaur's line smashes into the back of the pikes. The pike line turns around. And the hillmen then press. Angmar infantry. Oh, of course, we've got a unit of Angmar infantry. They are actually quite good. They might do well. What are we on? 42, 42. Goodness, I've never fought such an even battle before. They're dying. So our reinforcements are definitely going to die, but that's alright. We've got units routing on the northern side. It's over for the dwarves, I think.
Our ally lies dead, slain. We've lost half of our men. The enemy are badly bloodied. They have lost half their men.
Bring them down. You've gone for them. How are you guys? Have you routed them yet? No. Yeah, that militia force has killed our units, but tag team on them. Yeah, you've got no one to tag team on. Those firebeard warriors, there's conscripts up there could probably use a hand. Those pikemen have run all the way around here and then ended up doing nothing. There you go and hit those firebeard warriors. They're a long way away, but you'll be alright. I also think that the militia unit down here, or the 2 militia units down here, the archers can probably handle once they finish with their bows. Angmar archers are relatively good. Now, in terms of Divide and Conquer version 3, well, to say that we really are getting down to it now is a massive understatement. So brace yourselves. And if indeed you have not yet reinstalled Third Age Total War into as a fresh installation, I encourage you to watch the installation guide for Third Age Total War, which will be linked at the end of this video. Get yourselves ready. All preliminary testing of version 3 is going very, very well. There are a few minor leftover bugs that we need to address.
Our men have slain the enemy general.
And once they are
Without
addressed,
him, his troops will lose their will to fight.
we're pretty much there. So it really is not going to be long now. I'm still not giving you any dates, and I shall remain with the answer simply being of 3. Right, we've got units standing around doing nothing while our archers are getting killed, so just mass charge them, they'll fall. There we are, they're broken. You guys go over there and assist them. Who's fighting down there? Militia still going. Go down and assist. I think that unit's the only one left, isn't it? That's fine. Oh, Firebeard Warriors up. There's 122 Firebeard Warriors up there. That's really the only enemy left.
Our men have fought long and are becoming tired.
Yeah, mass routing otherwise.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
The Firebeard Warriors are all that stand. Agendour moves in to assist. Rudau's savages. And we've even got the Angmar infantry up there. They're wavering, and it's over, yes!
We have won here today.
Agendour, Lieutenant of Mordor, stands true. 192 kills. Angmar archers, blimey. Even though they didn't even get used till later on in the battle. And then a Hillman unit came second. Ah, Rudau, you are the best. One can always count on the men of the hills to stand true. And stand true they have. Blinding victory. Well done, everyone. Well done all around. Claps and whatnot. Now, I appreciate in the Gundabad campaign, I'm pretty sure I've already restarted once. And of course, Gundabad and Angmar are the 2 only really changed nations for version 3, or majorly changed nations. But everywhere really has been affected. Version 3 is an all-encompassing, vast overhaul. So I'm really not too bothered. And I'm still enjoying doing campaigns for the channel. I mean, if we went to a faction vote and you all voted Dol Amroth, I would not be upset, of course. But I can appreciate and understand and fully agree that having 2 campaigns both based in the north is actually a little overkill. And that is entirely, and I hold my hands up and admit, my failing when I decided to attack Angmar. I did not think forward like a moron and think, hang on a minute, Galu, in only a few weeks or however it was between Gundabad and Angmar starting, you're going to be playing as Angmar, so why would you take over their lands in this episode? That's so folly, or such folly. But alas, I did not listen to myself, I did not think of that, and I have therefore been a fool. But anyway, at least the Angmar one's going well, isn't it? Other than, of course, the large encroachment by the dwarves. But in the south they're doing alright, save for the coming of Bree. Everyone wants our souls. But they can't have them, damn it. Anyway, we shall end the turn again, where I believe Ostsul will now rise up against us, and we must defend our siege. Which doesn't make sense, but there we are. The Northern Dunedain are attacking. The Breelanders have not assisted them. That's interesting. I wonder if they're going to push through for Fenestrone. Hisylon, Conqueror of Fornost Arine, has returned to Ostsul, where he's about to be obliterated. The strength ratio agrees. Let's do it.
Muster your courage, men! We march into battle!
Into battle. There's been quite a few changes aside from bug fixes that have also taken place behind the scenes between the final developer diary and when version 3 will release to you all. Chief amongst them is today's offering. Excuse me, sorry. From RK, who has brought us a new menu design. So when you get to version 3, do not be alarmed when you look at your menu and it looks nothing like the ones I've shown you in the developer diary or indeed in Angmar or Gundabad episodes. Because it won't. It'll look very different indeed. Warg Raiders. If I can have you just acting as actual archers for this battle, that would be perfect. That's the beauty of cavalry archers. So versatile. And then we'll use these ones as javelins behind the main line. Also compiling our versatility. Although perhaps we should move a little closer and try and entrap them before they actually come out. That's probably advised, really, isn't it? Because then we can get them in a sort of killing zone. It's just whether or not our units can move there in time. We'll find out in a moment. Oh, I didn't move Drangu, but that's all right. Right, you fellows. Form a wall. Oh, I didn't click the buttons first. There we are. Right, pikes. You're going to form part of a sort of flanking force, if you will. To run over there. Ah, I didn't do them. And then those ones going over that side. Hopefully you're relatively well positioned to get to those places quickly. And then Drangu, of course, who's actually one of our finest archers, will, for the time being, just sit behind the line. Right, everybody move. Run, 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 run. They have got some cavalry, so they might come at us quickly. But no, our lines met already. Perfect. Our lines haven't met, sorry, but our troops are in position. We've got some units over there. We're going to take some time to get over, but that's all right. Alright, move the line in. Don't give them the initiative. And shut down their archers. Quiet, maggots! Are those our pikes? Yeah.
The battle is very much in our favour. Victory will be ours.
You're all going up on that flank. Let's move you around into position. Did our javelin wargs get anything to do at all? Oh, you have pathetic range. Goodness. But fortunately, javelin wargs can shoot while they move, so... Oh, they've got bandits in their army. No wonder they're doing poorly. All of you just press in from that side. Do what you can. Ah, a cavalry unit did manage to do something. Or that cavalry unit did. That's right, hit those. Cardland Riders. From Cardolan. They're actually from their heartlands.
If we continue like this,
Dunedain bodyguards. Up against our own Northguard. Armor piercing versus armor piercing. Men of Angmar versus old Numenorians. It's like watching the War of Angmar all over again. Bitter, ancient rivals. We have the numbers on them. But they've got a slight hill bonus. Oh, no, one of our men is down. Oh, right in the groin. Have some honor. He's down. He is down. Victory seems certain, though. They are falling, just as our own are falling, though. And the hated enemies have broken through in the middle there. Bugger. A lot of our forces tied down with my poor positioning of the pikemen. Just punch through. They're only cavalry. This was always going to be a risk and a threat, though. Dunedain bodyguards are down to 20. Skuld still has 91. Move the wargs out. Just run away. Get out of melee and get out of range. Somehow the lines have totally swapped around and they're now fighting to get back into the city. Not sure how that's happened. More Cardland units that are actually from Cardland. We're getting shot from somewhere. Goodness. Dunedain Rangers as their army falls before them. Send someone back to ensure the enemy is taken. What a glorious city centre flag they have. You men, pikes down. But if you would turn around, that'd be fantastic. There's a turnaround button in later versions of Total War, aren't there? I don't think Med 2 has it. There we are. Keep the enemy engaged. I don't know if they're if the enemy's actually beating us or not. I'm not entirely certain. We have lost a large amount of our units. But we'll have the town centre soon. And his Sylvan will fall shortly. But they took a lot of Skuld's bodyguard down before they went.
Control of the city.
Oh, why am I doing that? Drangu. There is a task now that must be done. Oh, well done. Look at that. Obliterated them. Sweet massacre. Hisalvan is all that remains. Him and one devout follower. Bring them down, men. Drangu, assist. The wargs and orcs of Mount Graham shall receive vengeance. Sort of. Oh, they took down the sole remaining bodyguard. Oh, Drangu himself has arrived. Clip him in the head. Go on.
The enemy general lies
dead. He's gone. He's gone. Drangu's warg moves in to
foe
rip his torso asunder.
Be awed by the victory we have won here today.
I mean, that is the kind of victory I would expect. Certainly, obviously, I'm not the greatest commander, but that just shows there that Angmarim and the forces of Angmar are still nowhere near as good as the Northern Dunedain. And like fighting against Erud Luin, man for man, they have beaten us. We are only going to win through numbers and skilled commanding leadership. Sadly, the latter is lacking, so numbers are going to have to be the way forward. That is our only real hope and chance for ultimate victory. Now, the men of Bree, however, different story entirely. Kill them all. The Breelanders are weak and pathetic, and we are better than them. So, with the Northern Dunedain mostly out of the way and Erud Luin contained, we will be able to easily beat Bree. So, Captain Durin, how are you going to do in an auto-resolve, Hoonborn? Defeat. We took 91 of them down with him. They're shaking in their little round boots. I know they are. It won't be long before our forces are scaling the mountains of Erdluin, and the forces therein shall fall before us, as kindling falls before the rising flame. Speaking of flame, there's the glorious canned icon. The Northern Dunedain.
It will be an honor defeating you.
Hervigil was trying to get into support, but unfortunately he brought a load of siege equipment with him, and so nothing is going to happen. Did I just accept an adoption? Or was he a captain of honor? I think I just accepted an adoption like an idiot. Right, we've actually got a little bit of money now. We want to use that as wisely as possibly. That's not how you speak English. Don't use me as an example of how one speaks English. Condom, you're likely to be a good place for money making. No, I'm tempted actually with the bigger and better mines, because if we wait one more turn we can get them. Who has the best mines? Litash at the moment. Yeah. But we could get a lot of little upgrades if we went alternatively. Oh no. I'm thinking we should not go for the mines and instead kind of split up what we're going to go for. So use this opportunity to get Angmar units, because they're better than Hillmen and whatnot. In the south, I'm not as concerned, but Ostsul could probably do with being... Goodness gracious, I've never seen a settlement with 100% of a single nation. That's mad. As a jumping off point, though, Ostsul's a long time before it's useful, and we're likely to push on straight through to Bree. But then will we take Bree? Probably not, and Tirthuin's just south of us. I'm tempted with an armory. I think that might be a waste of money. You can get us a grain exchange and a blacksmith. I'll go with grain exchange. We will go for some monetary options elsewhere. They're already getting us good money. How about... Well, the market does give an extra 100 income standard anyway. Go on, yeah, chuck a market in. I could get us a blacksmith. Ah, you can get us the leather tanner. That's an extra 40 from Goodwill. More of a Tarth. What does the leather worker give? Oh, it is 60. I thought it was. Ah, you could do a leather worker. Or Athelin could do a leather tanner. 40 versus 60. No, 40. Bigger overall increase. Angsul can retrain those fine gentlemen and chuck those on as well. And, oh goodness, the doors are coming. We don't want to leave everyone there, so Hoonvorn's here to take over command. Agendour, you return to Khan.
We go no further today.
Send those conscripts over. No, conscripts do not have the Legion. I saw some people saying, yes, the Legion thing doesn't fit in terms of Lord of the Rings lore, but we, possibly maybe I, particularly like it, so it's going to stay. You're going to need a really strong argument to convince me otherwise. But do know it's only for the proper mainline units, like Angmar infantry. Conscripts and all men of Ruidour do not have it. They don't get that denomination. So, not everyone is going to be given a Legion denomination. Right, more troops are available over here. Send those up to Angsul. The reason I don't want Agendour in there is because if the worst happens and we do lose it, we don't want him going down that quickly. Whereas Hoonvorn, I'm not all that bothered about. The Wraiths are good at the beginning and they lose traction as you get on. They have been buffed for when you play version 3 as opposed to what you're watching right now, but they still aren't phenomenal. So they're a really good unit, but they do have room for improvement. Now, what are the Brelanders going to do?
Come and get me, you coward.
We'll sit in Ostsul for a moment.
My lord.
And just kind of wait and see whether Hervigil comes and wastes himself against us or whether Matt does. Then we'll move.
An order.
Ah, Moorholt.
Orders.
Your forces, send them north to...
Yes.
You yourself do go and sit in Barkaleg.
We go no
Give it an end turn. I can't remember when I started recording, unfortunately, so I'll give it a few more minutes. But maybe another turn after this one, and hopefully that's probably where we are up to. Those icons do look good, don't they? Let's talk about the icons more. We have not done that enough. No. We must give them more screen time. I need to get on and start recording the version 3 videos, the Gunf, and also we need to get prepared and ready for any kind of submods, official submods we're going to do. The only one at current that is planned in my head, could be convinced otherwise, is the Total War submod, which is a firm favourite of many, myself included. So the Total War submod will definitely be created within... It will be shortly after version 3 is released, but not straight away. But the other ones I'm not overly concerned with. I really don't feel that the stakes one, in particular, I think can easily be knocked off. If people like... The modding to add stakes to units is really, really simple. It doesn't require any... You don't even need to delete files once you've done it. It is the most basic modding skill. So stakes, I think I would leave to people to just learn how to do that themselves. Cavalry bodyguards. I have seen a few people talk about them. But no one seems overly concerned about the lack of cavalry bodyguards. Or the lack of a submod of the same if we weren't to do one. So I'm tempted to kind of not do that either. Leaving really only the Total War one and possibly then the event videos. I may well do the event videos. I'm not wholly decided yet. Shadoon is no longer growing. The Shadoon is as big as it's going to be. Angmar don't get the large city. We should probably attack Hervigil and just get him. Oh, and Gandalf the Grey. Coming with the 20th Legion of Cardolan men. There he is, looking at us like, what on earth are you doing? I'm about to kill you, boy. That's what I'm doing. But for now, I think I will end the turn there. Let me just rewind. I will end the episode there. We're doing rather well. I'd quite like Hervigil to attack us and then waste himself by using his siege, but he probably won't. But it looks like the Misty Mountains are going to keep Bree busy, so we're not too worried about that. But of course, our real threat and real main force to worry about now is back in the north with the bloody forces of Eredum. So to recap this episode, take a vote in the poll. Do you want the Gundabad episodes campaign to end and a faction vote, so you decide who would then replace them? Would you like me to move the entirety of Gundabad over to Ered Luin and kind of take Thorin's Halls and start again over there? Or would you like me to gift all of these regions to the Misty Mountains, or Moria as they are now known, pull our army back and go for Erebor solely, Erebor and the Anduin? Those are your choices. Get voting. Do check out Melkor's video with the top 5 and his channel in general, and a thank you to him for nominating me as his 5th favourite. I was very, very pleased. And get your Third Age Total War installations ready, and do not rename your folder, or much about the DaC installation will simply not be of use to you, and your axe throws will crash your game. But until we speak again, dear friends, Navar and Aden Pedamad Melonin, and farewell.